Hey guys, welcome back to Thorough Capping. I have a good review for you here with these TC ratings. What I did was I pulled up the old past performances of Thistledown on July 10th. Now the unfortunate thing is I could not find any PPs that I actually saved after I did my work in Foxit Reader. So I took Thistledown 710. I know I have some that are in there saved, but I just have so many old past performances. Some of them, the work is saved. The others, they weren't saved because the card was over, the race day was over, and I already had my grids. So I go and I X out, and I lose my work. So what I did was I actually handicapped 6 races. And after I got to the 6th, I said to myself, I could be doing this for a future card rather than past races, so I stopped. But what I want to do is I want to take a look at the results of the first 5, and then from there we're gonna throw the information on the grid for race 6 together. Okay, race 6 I already have handicapped on the PDF. I'll put it on here, and we will then check the results for that particular day. I have not looked at the results yet for Thistledown 6th, but what I want to do here is I want to introduce to you the other side of the grid. Okay, what I did was I did add the qualitative factors over here just to see how much of a difference they made in 1, the boosting in points, and 2, the results of the race. So if we look at Thistledown 1, there was a full field of 8 in this race, and the top 4 over on this end, which includes this as well, okay, just so you understand that, includes all these factors plus an additional point here, here, and here. Okay, we came out with the 6, 7, 1, 4 in that order as far as the ratings go. The race actually came out 1, 4, 2, and 7. Okay, so we did miss the 3rd place horse, but the win on the one paid 18 to win. Okay, so it went off at 8 to 1, almost 9 to 1, and it was a nice 72-40 exacta. Okay, by using them 4. Now, again, you would have to use them correctly. If you played them correctly, you might have been kicking yourself for not getting exacta because you played them wrong. That's why I'm trying to toy around with something over here as far as what could point me in the right direction of my top contender rather than just the 4 selections out of the contenders. I know it was brought up to me that maybe you run the velocity grids, which is fine. I agree with that 100%. But what I don't want to do is make the work more by running the velocity grids for every one of these horses. I would not run a velocity on the 8 at 64.3, but yet the rest of them are all in the 70s, and the lowest horse was a 74.2 after the 1 point. Originally it was a 73.2, and he ended up coming in 2nd. So I would have to run the velocity grid on that horse. I'd have to run it on that horse. And before you know it, I'm running the pace grids on 7 of the 8 horses, adding another maybe 10, 15 minutes to my handicapping for that one particular race. My goal is 2 things with this. 1, to cut my and your work time down, because I still know there's a lot of you that are out there that are still learning these methods and factors, and it's taking you a while to do the computation and the calculating. And then you got the hurdle of, after you're finished now, looking at all the numbers and going, okay, what's the top horse? This is my target, so on. So this might put it in perspective a little bit more, but what I don't want to do is add time to the handicapping. That's why I'm looking at these results based solely on the TC ratings. So we go to race number 2. Race number 2, we came out with the 6, the 7, the 2, and the 1 in that order. The 6 actually won the race with the 83.4. We missed the 2nd place. Okay, we did not get the exacta. The 3 horse got 2nd. The 3rd place horse we missed, the 8 horse, and then we got the 4. So we did what we did was we got the win there with the 6 horse at the 83.4. Now we go to the 3rd race. 3rd race, I had tossed the 4 horse out initially when I was looking at it, and came up with 1, 2, 3, 6. Not in that particular order, but 1, 2, 3, 6. And the 1 actually won the race. So interesting enough, the 1 horse was not my top rating. The 6 was. But very well in that 6 horse field, could have been the best value, probably was the best value out of these 4 horses. And if the win money went on that 1, you would have got a 1060 return. 790 exacta, and as you can see, we have the 3 paid 1960, and these payments are for the minimal base amount, dollar exactas, and at Thistledown, the try is $1 minimum, 1960. Not a great payout, chalky race, but at the same time, showing some consistency here. Race number 4. Race number 4 was a full 10-horse field. After I did the handicap, and when I looked at the results, I looked at the race card, I saw the 2 was out and the 6 was out, so I adjusted it a little bit. I tossed a 4 on my own out, and I came up with the 5, 7, 8, and the 10. Well, sure enough, the 10 horse did win the race. Once again, not the top point getter, but in the mix, 71.1. $7 winner, 1920 exacta with the 5 horse in second, and then we also had the try for $1 paid 78.90. So once again, the figures in a 8 horse field, I should say, pointing us in the right direction of not only the winner exacta, but they get to try as well. And if you look over here now, if we take out the 2 points for the moves, and the reason I had 2 there is because this horse made its turn move and a stretch move, so I gave him a point for each. What it does, it knocks it down to a battle now between these 2 horses, 69.6, 69.4. Maybe this would be in a scenario where we would run the pace grids and just run those 2 horses off the best pace line, recent pace line, and go with that as your tiebreaker, or you just die on your hill of letting the qualitative factors adjust the ratings over here and go with that. So I'm not going to nitpick at this and go, oh, if I wouldn't have used these 2 points here, because it very well could help me somewhere else down the road, and it probably helped me up here too. I really didn't get a chance to look at them. I don't want to make this video way too long, but it really didn't have any effect here. There was only 1 notation. Here, this takes it to a 77.9. It still qualifies him. No, 76.9. Still would have qualified him if I took these out. 76.5 if I take this out. And a 73.2 if I take this out. That still leaves me, actually, the second place horse now. I may have used the 3 instead of the 4 horse there, because now that brings the 4 horses rating down below the 4 horse. So at this point, I'm going to keep the qualitative factors involved in these ratings. Now, we look at race number 4. Race number 4 was another example. No, that was, we did 4. Race number 5. Race number 5, did we do that already? I'm sorry, I lost my place here. We had the 1, 3, 5, and the 8. Okay, well, we did get the 1. The 3 horse won the race. Paid $5 to win, so I'm sure he was the favorite in the race. The 8 horse did come in second. Paid $9.20 for the exacta. We missed the try. Third place horse was the 6 horse at 73.5. Now, the good thing is, you guys, those of you that have your past experience with playing the horses, there's factors that you're going to favor as well. Not so much, I'm not talking necessarily these factors that I'm using, these matrix factors. Other factors, such as the jockey-trainer connection, pedigree, whatever, etc. And you may add some columns here, and you may be giving horses points based on the things that you look for and the things that you put value into, and you may come up with that third place horse whereas I did not come up with it because these are the factors that I was focusing on, along with these quantitative factors as well. Now, race 6, let me pull up the past performance real fast, and let me find the right race. Okay, race 6, here we go. Okay, the race 6 is handicapped as far as all my numbers that I need, all my data, my qualitative pieces are identified. There wasn't a whole lot qualitatively. There was a drop down. We had an X'd out winner here. We did have a turn move on the 5 horse. And then we had a trainer notation on the 1. So let's put these on the grid and see where we come out here live. Come on, work with me here. I'm trying to do my split screen and it's not allowing me to. Okay, so we have race 6 set up, 7 horses. Alright, so we go to the grid and send that over there. Okay, we're ready to roll. So for the 1 horse, we have a target rating of an 85 and an ability of 83. So we have an exceed. We have a 2-point exceed here, so I'm going to keep that target as an 83. Okay. Those of you that are questioning why am I doing that, that's all explained in the matrix system. And as I said before, if you don't have the matrix system and you purchase the thorough capping, it comes with it complimentary. I will send you an email with an attachment of the matrix system as well. And if you want to request to follow the figures, I will do that as well. So you can really technically get all 3 of those tutorials for $29.99. Okay, so we go ability, 83. The final fraction rating. And in an earlier video, I talked about how I take the 25 here and I change it to an actual rating. 22 is 100. So if this were a 22, this would get 100. This is 3 seconds off. So for every 1/5 of a second is 1 point. So that'd be 15 fifths. So that would be an 85 from 100. The target buyer rating, or target Briz, or target speed was a 172. That is also explained in the matrix system tutorial. Speed cumulative was 360. Once again, another factor that's explained in the tutorial. And we have one quantitative note, and that is the trainer, third off the layoff, 25%. So I will go over and I will give that 1 point under TR for trainer. Okay. Now we go to the second. No exceed, so we can just put them down as we see them. 81, 85. We have a 26 and 1, which is 21 off of a 22, which is a 79. Target buyer in that race was 161. And again, I'm going to be saying target buyer over and over again, even though I'm using Briz, because it's kind of just cemented. When I first started dabbling with the matrix system, that's all I used was Daily Racing Form. Now I flip back and forth from DRF to BrizNet. Lately I've been using a lot of BrizNet. Okay, so we have a 161, speed cum of a 361, and nothing to note qualitatively. Okay, the 3 horse, we have an 84, 87 ability, 82 on the final fraction, 25 and 3 would be an 82. We have a 169, speed cums, 360. So these are all very close on the speed cumulative. Nothing to note qualitatively. The 4 horse, we do have a class drop. I'll throw that over here right now in the class drop category. And I think he was coming out of a next out. Yes, he was. So I don't forget that. I will put a 1 in a next out category. And then we'll put his numbers down. 83. 83 ability. We have an 84 fraction. 175. And we have a 368 on the speed cube here. Okay, the 5 horse. And again, if those of you that are wondering, again, how is that 368 not blowing this number up here? It's averaged into the formula where the speed cube rating 400 would be 100. So 368 is 92%. 368 gets a 92. So I already have it in the formula. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these grids, now that I'm officially going to start testing future races with them, rather than go back and back test races. Like I said, if I had more past performances that I had all this information on, if I would have saved before I exited out, I would do a lot more back testing. But I don't feel like handicapping, doing these these computations for races that have happened already just to check the results. I'd rather do them for races that are coming up to do that. But I will put a sheet of about 50 of these charts into the actual Thorogrid, original Thorogrid that's in the tutorial, and it'll just be a tab toward the bottom, and it'll be titled TC Rating Grids. So those of you that have purchased thorough capping, you just go back into the tutorial, click download grids, and it'll come up, and then you save it or copy it or download your own copy. All right, back to the number 5. Number 5 is 81, 92. We have an 84 here. And on the target buyer, we have a 161 and a 348. Another note on the final fraction rating here. Those of you that didn't pick up how I do this, and you don't feel like going back and watching a video again, if you have the Follow the Figures program, that is one of the lessons in there, in the slides, how to take a fraction and change it into a rating out of 100. Okay, so if you have the Follow the Figures tutorial, it's right in there. You're just going to have to look for it. But the chapters are pretty organized as far as what they're titled. You'll be able to find it pretty easily. And if you don't, it's available for $8.99. Or if you get the thorough capping tutorial, you'll get this complimentary. You'll get to Follow the Figures and the matrix system complimentary. Okay, number 6. 7881. It's a 77 at 25.3. No, actually it's 82. All right, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's an 82. We have a 160, and we have a 335 for speed cube. And finally, the 7 horse has a 78 target, an 82 ability, a 161 on the going too fast. We have a 81 on the final fraction and a 161 on the target Briz, and 354 over here. Did I miss any other trainer notations? Let's check it out. Third off, light off, 14%. No. Now, we have a 33% here, a 20% here, 25. To me, that's not a large enough sample size. 5, 8, 3 to give this horse points, or additional points, I should say, to what he's already getting. So that's why I'm not crediting him with any trainer ratings. So when we look at this here, we're going to look at the right side right now. The horses that stand out, and they're all pretty tight. This might be a race where you might say, listen, I'm going to run the pace, velocity and pace. But just remember, the more you add to it now, you run the pace and velocity. Suppose this 2 horse comes up in that grid, and now you say, wait a second, now how do I rank him compared to this 86.4 and the 87.9? All you're doing is you're throwing more data in there to look at. So if we rank them the way they are now, we go 87.9. We have an 86.4. We have an 85.5. And we have an 84.9. Those would be our top 4 point getters here. In numerical order, 1, 3, 4, 5. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the results. I got to do some, go onto my ADW and, okay, we're here. First of all, let's see if there were any scratches. Let's hope there weren't any. This is Thistledown. This is the wrong race. Thistledown 6th we're looking for, right? Thistledown 6th on July 10th. Okay, 7 horses, no scratches, okay? Our numbers were 1, 3, 4, and 5. So, by looking at the odds here, 5 would probably be a small win bet play for us. And maybe even the 1 simply because he's a bit of an overlay off the morning line. But let's check the results here and see how we did. 3, 1, 4, 2. All right, very chalky race. But at the same time, we look here. 3 horse got first. 1 horse got second. 4 got third. And the 2 got fourth. So we did manage to win, which was 420. The exacta, chalky, but $9. And the trifecta for the $1, $15.40. So again, chalky race, but at the same time, we can't control payouts. I mean, what we're looking for is something that's going to point us in the direction with the least amount of headaches, and I think that we're on to something here with the TC ratings. Time will tell, but my goal now is to do this up with future races. It doesn't mean I've abandoned my old cards, okay? We have plenty here. We have the summary card 2 with the multiple choices for the categories. We have summary grid 1 that only has 1 or a couple, but mainly 1 for each category. And then of course we have our main thoroughgrids, which is probably most similar to what we're doing now, with the exception of it does not have the TC rating category. All right, but those who are handy with the spreadsheets, you guys, I know there's a few I email back and forth with who already are handy with the spreadsheets. You guys are free to throw whatever you want in there. Those that aren't, just make sure you don't go and delete any columns that have bold, because they're the ones with the formulas in them. And if you don't know how to do the formulas, you're going to be in trouble. But I just want, being that I'm on that note, I want to show you that if you accidentally delete, let's say for example you deleted that and you're saying, oh crap, I don't know how to get that back. All you do is go up to here, above it, where the little blue dot is. When you get the plus sign, left click and drag it down, and that throws the same formula into that cell. And you're back where you started. The one last thing I want to show you guys is, once again, those of you that are questioning, well, the thorough capping doesn't have talk about final fractions, or it doesn't talk about the speed cumulative or the target Briz or target buyer. The matrix system does. Okay, and if you purchase the thorough capping right now at a discounted price of $29.99, you will get the matrix system and you will get follow the figures, both complimentary. This is actually a $10.99 right now, and I have follow the figures on here for $8.99. But this is a good deal in my opinion. And the thing is, you know, I'm not trying to push people to purchase and to buy. I want to share as much insight as I can on my videos. If you can get something out of my videos and be able to create your own spreadsheets and have an understanding of what's going on and how to do this on your own just based on how I'm doing it, that's great. The only thing is you'd have to make your own grids up because you'll have access to the grids if you were to get to thorough capping. And I'm not going to email out any of the grids that are in thorough capping to anybody who's not a purchaser, simply because it's not fair to those who have purchased it. I'm not just going to give out the free grids, but if you know how to make your own, go for it. Knock yourself out. All right. Thanks for tuning in. As usual, shoot me your comments. Let me know what you think. But I think we're moving in the right direction here.